Howdy YouTube, and welcome to this episode of the Gunman. So this video here, I'll be taking you guys through the paintwork on this Volvo S80. It's a pretty simple job. It's just a quarter panel, blend on a door, and a rear bumper bar. So I'm not going to be taking you guys through the prep work, but it will stay the same as most of my other jobs, how you've seen in many other of my videos. So it's just going to be a little bit of masking and paintwork. But I'll give you a quick rundown of what I did. So I obviously blocked the repair area down, blocked the primer work down, sanded all the edges down, prepped the blends up, and yeah, gave it a good dust down, edge masked it, got it in the booth, and yeah, just cutting around the edges and about to go and do some masking. One of my favorite stages, don't really know why, I find it relaxing. Chill out, listen to the music, got the doors open on the booth, got the radio cranking. Sometimes I wake my headphones in and put some metal on. That's sort of my favorite kind of music. I like a bit of the rap, but yeah, still a big fan of metal. But yeah, continuing on with the job, just using the Collad blade, which is now going to be in the a link of that in the description of each one of my videos, because it's quite a popular product there. And yeah, just using the 3M masking tape, pretty good quality tape. The purple stuff looks really cool, especially in photos when you got that purple nebula and a bit of purple masking tape. Looks really cool. Yeah, not a great deal more I can tell you about masking other than to keep it neat, keep it tight, I guess. You don't want it flapping around on you when you're painting. You don't want too many joins in it, which is probably why you see me using large pieces. Everywhere there's a join, you got to make sure that you press those edges down so there's no areas that your clear coat especially will be able to get up underneath. You get a little bit of base coat overspray. It's usually going to be pretty simple to get off. A lot of the time, by the time it hits there, it's actually dry anyway, but your 2-pack clear is going to stick like shit to a blanket, as they say. Anybody who's seen the movie Trainspotting will know exactly what I'm talking about. But yeah, as you see, masking's all done. I then did give it a clean down with some Prepsol or wax and grease remover. I actually didn't record that stage, so I couldn't even put any footage there. Continuing on with the job, just making sure I give it a good wipe down with a tack cloth, and we're right to start putting down some sealer. It's actually called 222S. It's a Chromax product. It always used to be DuPont, but DuPont sold their refinishing division, and it's now known as Chromax. So Chromax 222S is a product there, and it's actually a adhesion promoter, but I use it as a sealer and use it as a blending aid as well. This kind of colour is probably on the verge of not needing it. Yeah, the name of the colour is actually Supplier Grey. I forgot to tell you guys that at the start, and the colour code was 492. The colour was actually really terrible. I ended up mixing it up 3 times. I mixed it up the first time and it was really bad. I tried matching it. Tried matching it for about half an hour, and I'm like, man, I'm going nowhere with this. I keep putting yellow in it to try and kill the red out, and it just wasn't doing like what I wanted it to do. So second time I remixed it, but left some of the reds out. Hopefully it was not going to be so red, but no, again, it was just way out. Quite wrong. So the third time I just mixed up a different color. So I'm using the Standox Spectro photometer, as I've showed you guys in other videos, and I just did a blind search with it. So the top coat that I'm ending up putting on this was a Hyundai color, out of all things. It's not even a proper, it's not the formula for a Volvo color. The Volvo color had like just standard silver metallic in it, whereas the Hyundai color actually had pearls in it, and it just seemed to be what it needed. So I won't forget the name of that Hyundai color because it's called PanterA Grey, another one of my favorite bands from right back in the day. Many a night spent cranking the Pantera while drinking and smoking. So we went and saw them in concert in 2001. Man, that was awesome. Obviously before Dimebag got shot on stage because he didn't want to continue on with the Pantera band, which is a bit lame. But yeah, continuing on, just I put 2 coats of the car that was stuffed up down first just to get my coverage, and of that PanterA Grey I only mixed up like 100 mils just so that I could just put one coat over the top of it, just enough to change the color, just so that and that's what I'm putting down here, just enough to change the color. And yeah, the color looked quite good in the end. That's the main thing. But yeah, that's probably one of the trickiest parts of spraying, I think. Like spray painting is actually doing your color matching. Like you can be the best painter out there, but like the color is going to be something that anyone will see, you know. Like if you're a doctor or a lawyer or whatever you might be, like you might just work at a checkout at Coles or the local supermarket or whatever, you won't see a bit of orange peel, you won't see runs unless you're really looking for them, but anyone will see that that's a different color. So it's a very important stage of spray painting, and it's a skill that I would say is necessary. I've actually heard like a lot of people from the UK and even Ireland, like I work with this guy from Ireland, and he said we don't do any color matching. It's a skill that is unknown for the most part over in Ireland. And from what I hear on some of the forums, like some of the people over in the UK, they don't have the skill of color matching it either. Like they will just look for a good variant, and if they don't have a good variant, they'll just they'll just blend the color. And yeah, it's totally not what we have to color match every single color. I don't know if it's because the sun's out a little bit more down under here, and we just wouldn't get away with it. Like if we didn't color match our cars, I mean, you'd probably get away with maybe 50-60% of them. But customers would just be going around saying, hey, my color's wrong, and telling all their friends don't go to that panel shop because they paint your car the wrong color. So I can't really say all that for 100% because I've never actually been over to the UK. I've never really worked hand in hand with many people from the UK, apart from that Irish guy. Yeah, let us know your knowledge about color matching in the comments down below from around the rest of the world. I mean, I know what it's like over here in Australia, but yeah, let us know what it's like in your area. Do you actually have the skill of color matching, or do you just look for the best variant and blend it? And even then, like if the color's like below sort of 85-90% match, I won't even blend it. When I was doing trade school, I felt like I knew the spraying side of things. I knew the prep work, because I had a lot of experience with that at work. So I finished off I ticked all the boxes, finished all the paint and prep work side of things as quick as I could, and then I just went right into color matching. Spent heaps of time color matching, and I think that was very advantageous to my color matching skills. Because it's something that at work you wouldn't get that much of an experience doing it, because the tradesman was always like, man, for starters, I don't have time for you to do it, I don't have time to teach you, and also if you were to go and muck a colour up, say if you got 500 mils of colour, you go and put too much colour in there, that's a lot of money's worth of paint you just gone and ruined. So you sort of, that's what you're at trade school to do. You're there to waste their paint and learn how to do the color matching and all of the other things as well. So yeah, I'm back onto the GTI Pro Light, the Nebula. Been using that all the time for clear these days and loving every minute of it. I always get these new guns in and I'm like, hey, this is cool, and it doesn't usually take too long until I'm back on my Pro Light, you know. TE20 1.3mm for the win for everyday spray painting. I actually just sold one of my pride and joy guns. It was a reluctant sale, but kind of the money's always handy, and it went to a good home. A guy in America bought the gold Pro Light of mine. He was asking me on my Facebook page, what are your thoughts on flow coating, the best setup for flow coating. I said, man, sort of hard to look past the Pro Light, especially with the T110 air cap on it. It's sort of closer to a LVLP air cap, and it gets a very fine atomization. It gets it on really nice. So he managed to talk me around, and we came across a deal, and I sent that over to the US for him, and actually the SRI Pro Light. So I no longer even have a SRI Pro Light, but he's got himself a couple of awesome guns, and they're actually both that orange color. So yeah, I'll be able to replace them. I don't have any shortage of guns. I could always pull this bad boy out, the original GTI I got from Paul from here in Perth, but that's like brand new, never used, and that's literally just on display. Pretty cool. And I made up my gun stand there. painted it up in the flakes. It's probably actually about ready for a flow coat, that thing. Maybe one day. So yeah, that's about it, eh? Smashing it on, gunny. I've actually been cranking the pressure up a little bit lately. It's been getting a little bit colder, and there is a correlation between temperature and air pressures. I don't know the exact formula to say, well, it's 20 degrees today, so you got to use this pressure, but I do notice myself, every time it starts getting colder, turn that pressure up. And especially in the middle of summer, the pressure, like on those 40 degree days, 40 plus degree days, you got to turn that pressure down a little bit. It's just how it is. So that's about it. That's the job done. Just a bit of a relatively quick video for me to make, and I hope you guys have enjoyed watching it. If you have, give it a big thumbs up, leave some feedback down below. If you reckon I did a crap job, it's all good, you can tell me, as long as you don't start getting all personal and being a total dick about it. I'm happy to take a bit of feedback. If you'd like to buy any t-shirts, stubby coolers, I've got a few hats down there as well. Jump on my website, thegunman.net.au, and yeah, take it from there. Cheers, thanks for watching, see you in the next one. Almost forgot, now you've seen this video, get out there and paint some shit. Coming out.